Now joining us, RBC Canadian Open Tournament Director Bryan Crawford. And Bryan, we're a week out. How excited are you for the 2023 RBC Canadian Open?
Yeah, thanks, Adam, and thanks for having us on. Of course, we're pumped. We just got a week to go, so lots of finishing touches and work to do this week. Of course, it's a busy, hectic week now that the golf course is kind of completely closed. But we've been out here for about 15 weeks getting things all set up and ready to go. Our biggest event and biggest build that we've ever had, the RBC Canadian Open. So it's almost tournament time. We start we start on Monday of next week, and with our first Foundation Pro-Am, and then have activities really every single day until we hit tournament time on Thursday. So it's a busy time, but it's great that we're back here now.
And I know you've had lots of preparation time, but now as we get even closer, how much prep is there left to do?
Yeah, no, as I said, we've been working on it for quite some time already. This period of time here, the week before, it's when the course is finally closed. It's been open to member play, a lot of activity. So there's a lot of things that kind of happen in this final week that couldn't happen previously. So it's quite hectic and quite a lot going on, but all well scheduled and planned out and expected, at least anyways. So lots to do, but we'll be ready by the time the gates open on Tuesday.
And we recently saw some new additions to the field. We'll get to the guys who have played many more PGA Tour events here shortly, but first, Michael Block. This guy was the story of the PGA Championship, other than the guy who lifted the Wanamaker Trophy and Brooks Koepka. How significant is that for you to have Michael Block accept the invitation and be in this field too?
Yeah, it's just such a great story, right? It's such a, we're about inspiring people to take part in golf and be part of golf. And, what he did just a couple weeks ago at the PGA Championship, inspired people to tune in, to be more involved in golf. And it's great to have him up here. Great to be part of our field. People are excited to see him. I think the week after the PGA Championship is a tough week to turn around and play for him. And now with having a week off through this past week or this week and into next week's RBC Canadian Open, I'm sure that he'll be in great form for us here in Canada.
Absolutely. And then I mentioned it there before, guys who, have won major championships, who've won on the PGA Tour. We've got Justin Rose, Tyrrell Hatton, Cameron Champ. Talk about those guys accepting their invites to play.
Yeah, what I love about it is that we've got so many great international players, like truly, stewards of the game internationally, with kind of Rory leading the way. But a lot of those other guys that have played on the DP World Tour, European Tour previously, that have become stars on the PGA Tour. We're a national open. We're the third oldest tournament in the world, and it's great to have an international field, representing us. In addition to so many of the great young American players like Sam Burns and Thagala, and these great players that are amongst the best in the game now, and just so young in their careers as well. And then to have have the Canadians who are in contention every single week. We have won, we won more times on the PGA Tour this year than ever before. It is just a matter of time until one of them win the RBC Canadian Open again. And we'd love to see it be this year. But we have the best home court advantage ever with having those Canadian players in the field, and then obviously Team RBC, and then all these other great international players that come tee it up here in Toronto.
Yeah, we've seen so many either victories or close calls given Corey Connors a couple of weeks ago too at the PGA Championship. But a big story last year at St. G's was the length of the rough, and that was a huge storyline. And when we got to go hack it around for Media Day about a month or so ago, that was my biggest takeaway, was the rough. What do you expect the length of the rough to be, given where we are in the calendar, given it's June and that we're a week before the US Open as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So it'll be thick. It's not even just the length as much as it is how thick it is, and it's it's quite a bit more thick than it was just a few weeks ago for our media day. So they kind of aim to get it in around that 5-inch kind of range, and then obviously work it back towards the first cut and towards the fairways. But it'll be one of the defenses of the golf course and of the hole, and not dissimilar to St. George's, that it'll be penal if you get offline and you're not hitting fairways in regulation. So that'll certainly be part of this golf course, and the guys will need to keep it nice and straight to have an easier time of it.
And another big part of this tournament has now become the rink hole. Of course, we broadcasted there last year. We'll be there again this year, this time on television too, which we're super pumped about. For those who haven't heard, tell us about this year's rink hole and where it is at Oakdale.
Yeah, absolutely. So this year's rink hole is on the par 3 14th hole. So it's back in just what will be an absolutely crazy area with 13 green, 17 tee, 16 green, and 15 tee, all surrounding the rink hole. We've completely enclosed it this year with both GA and hospitality areas. It's boards all the way down. It'll be absolutely wild. The wildest one that certainly we've ever had. So we're really excited about that. It's great to have TSN out there and your show and a number of others, the morning show, the drive show, all broadcasting live from the rink and the energy of what's going on there in the Golf Canada broadcast studio. So it's become obviously a real marquee destination on the property wherever we go, right? It's one of the advantages that we have, when it's sometimes a disadvantage moving from course to course and not having that signature hole every year be the same hole. The rink really makes it that signature hole. So we're excited for it. It's bigger and better than ever.
Certainly. I'm super pumped to be there broadcasting for Golf.Canada, specifically on television this year too. Another big part that we have to talk about here, people go to the golf course, enjoy the experience watching golf, and then they can go watch some concerts too at night. For those maybe who haven't heard, who is performing during the concert series?
Yeah, so we've got our RBC X Music Concert Series back again this year, happening on both Friday and Saturday night. So both of those concerts kick off around 8 o'clock with some openers and then the headliners following that. So the Black Eyed Peas, former Super Bowl performers and, global superstars are performing Friday night. And then on Saturday night, maybe one of the biggest icons we've had in Canada, Alanis Morissette, playing on Saturday night. And the great thing about kind of the way that the programming works too is that prior to the RBCX Music Concert Series, we have a whole bunch of programming taking place in our Fairway Fan Village on our Sirius XM stage, which is something we introduced last year. So we've got emerging artists, Sirius XM and RBCX Music emerging artists taking that stage kind of around 7 o'clock before the main stage starts. The Skyhawks, the Canadian Forces parajumping team, will be performing at 8 o'clock on both those two nights again this year. So tons of great programming down there, along with all of our partners, the merch tent, all of our food partners, including the Keg and Recipe Unlimited restaurant partners, all down there. So kind of a really cool place in between golf and the start of the concerts. And then the concert is right up a set of stairs right next to the fairway. So it's a pretty cool spot, and we're really looking forward to the setup this year.
I can't wait to be a part of that and check it out. Now, for you, before we let you go, there's been a ton of hard work going into this by you, your team, your staff, everyone involved. But what are you most looking forward to next week?
I always look forward to that last hour on Sunday. As the leaders are coming home, and I get a chance to maybe stop and reflect and enjoy it a little bit, and watch a little bit of golf for the first time in the week. Usually, try to get in and see that group come to the finish line, and awarding the trophy and wrapping up what is a job well done by everybody that's involved. And there's hundreds and hundreds of people, thousands of people involved, with all of our volunteers and stakeholders, and being able to stand on 18 as we award the trophy and appreciate what we've all accomplished and what the Canadian golf community has accomplished with the RBC Canadian Open again this year, and turn our attention to going to Hamilton in 2024, which is directly across the street from my house. So it's quite a nice benefit to being there, and we're excited to go back to Hamilton and after what was an amazing 2019.
There you go. Well, it's one of the most historic championships on the PGA Tour calendar. It's the RBC Canadian Open, and it is next week. Bryan, thanks for your time today.
Thanks so much, Adam. Really appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.